How's it going, everybody? Shady here. So hopefully this is the last time I have to talk about any of this stuff because, well, it's the last person within the weird, cringy love triangle that is, of course, none other than the City Barrow 3 situation as it currently stands right now. Now, of course, if you've seen my last video about Kumo, then you'll probably know that a lot of the things that I said about Kumo are definitely going to be carrying over to Jar as well. Yes, we're talking about Jar, also known as Just a Robot, another commentary channel kind of guy who is, surprisingly enough, probably one of the main reasons why he is probably getting tons more coverage. It's largely because he's the larger figurehead in this particular situation. He's the larger YouTuber, meaning that, of course, more people are going to be interested in other people's opinions of him. But I just genuinely feel like it's completely unfair to only talk about one and then never talk about the other, which is why I'm making a video about both of them. But of course, Just a Robot is no better than Kumo, to put it very simply. The only difference is that his history is probably a little bit weirder, to put it very simply. Apparently, back in the day, he made a video about some artist that went by the name of Toby, who apparently drew some weird shit involving children, and that's why they were under fire. And for some unknown reason, Just a Robot decided to defend this. Again, I'm saying this is completely fucking alleged, largely because I can't seem to find the video in question in which any of this has actually happened. So for all I know, it could have been taken down by Jar, it may have never even existed, but regardless, apparently back then he tried to make up excuses for Toby, and one of the main excuses was, well, I mean, they aren't gonna do it again, so why should I care? So, there you go. And on top of that too, he also allegedly used to be friends with another YouTuber that went by the name of Spocter Theory, who, yeah, I had to do some research on what this guy did, and holy shit, I genuinely think he might be one of the worst fucking commentary channels out there. Probably just like even worse than Kumo, oddly enough. I mean, to be fair, it's very hard to top literally having CP on your drives for years on end, so yeah, no wonder Spocter ended up getting chased off of his fucking platform, let's put it that way. Those are just to show off a pattern of behavior, which is of course to show that apparently Just a Robot really enjoys defending and making friends with people with extremely shady histories. And of course that seems to have carried over into here, just another instance of old habits dying hard, and oh boy did they die hard. Because, well, again, within the leaked conversations between Just a Robot and Diddy Barrow 3, there's of course just so many different instances of Just a Robot basically trying to make weird flirtatious passes towards her, while at the exact same time, within almost the same breath, if you will, basically stating that his flaccid video that he ended up making, and later removing, was basically meant to try and change people's minds on the entire situation for whatever fucking reason, and also making promises that he could try and repair her career in some way, which...
Cindy, I know it sucks, everything you're going through. You just want it to be over. You want me to finish up my video as soon as possible. But it's better I get this right than fast. I just don't want you to deal with this anymore, and if I take my time with it, the sooner this will be over. Trust me, I'm working as hard as I can. I'm going by this as quickly as possible, and I'm very tired. I actually stayed up all night last night. I just got up from a nap because, like, I need to get this done as soon as I can, but I still need to simultaneously take my time with it. Just keep your channel up and keep your spirits up as well, because we will get out of this.
I mean, bro, I don't know how you're going to be able to repair a career that is basically at ground fucking zero, but like, sure, buddy. I guess if you genuinely are just that desperate for pussy, I guess you're willing to do basically anything. But I think what probably makes this significantly worse, and this is brought up in just a little bit here when I go over a particular call that happened recently in regards to Jar. He had a girlfriend this entire time while he was doing these weird-ass messages, making weird-ass jokes like this, and also trying to help a literal child groomer, out of a situation that they effectively dug themselves into. Like, while he was doing this, he had a girlfriend. I'm saying had, because shortly after it was discovered that he was basically flirting with a child groomer, obviously his girlfriend, having more sense than Jar, decided to up and leave his ass. Good on her, just on the off chance that she's even watching this. And of course, as a result of all the shit that's happening around Jar, a number of different allegations are now coming forth about him, such as like an entire Google Doc, which I have yet to even get into. Okay, just a brief note on this particular, Just a Robot, like, document that recently came out about, like, somebody else's experience with Just a Robot, and it is, yeah, it's pretty fucking weird. I'll leave a link to, of course, the tweet containing the document in the description below, but to put it very simply, it's, it has to do with, Just a Robot basically, like, sending over, like, explicit material involving another content creator by the name of Jaden Animations to this person while they were, like, 17. It's really fucking weird, but yeah, I recommend that you at least read this shit while you possibly can. Like, what the fuck? It's just a lot. There's just so much to try and cover that at this point, like, it's going to start diverging into other things that aren't really the primary topic of this video, which is, of course, Jar's involvement with this Diddy Barrow 3 situation. That's the point of this video, is just about his involvement with this situation, and not really much about anything else. But of course, now that we kind of have all of the stuff around Jar, at least in terms of like the call and the DMs and whatnot already done and over with, I feel like it's only necessary that we at least kind of take a look at a couple of clips from the most recent call, per se, and just kind of give my own opinions on it, because, well, I think it's just extremely stupid. And yes, I understand that this segment isn't nearly as long as the Kumo segment, but like I said, a lot of my own criticisms of Kumo also carry over to Jar, because Jar is just, well, just like Kumo, he was unbelievably desperate for pussy, but the main thing that made it even worse is that the pussy that he was going after was, well, he was trying to go after it while he already had a girlfriend. Like, I just feel like that makes it significantly worse. But anyways, let's get into the call.
So, I think what you're saying makes sense. So, with all of that being said, like, do you stand by, like, do you really stand by any of the stuff that you said in that video?
Oh, yeah. I mean, other people, like, even Shud agreed with some of my points.
Sure. What would you still stand by, do you think?
Okay, I don't think, dictionary definition-wise, it was grooming. Like, I don't think what she did was grooming. Like, when I think of grooming, I think of, like, someone trying to get with the child or get nudes from the child or something else. I don't think it's grooming, and I think it's dumb when people say, oh, well, there's multiple different definitions of grooming, like grooming someone in a position of power. It's like, listen, if you were, like, buddy, like, H, I'll just call you, can I call you H?
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
If you were a dog, let's say, hypothetically, in real life, your job is being a dog groomer. I don't think you would be too happy if I made a video called H is a groomer.
Right,
like
100%.
Grooming, I don't want the word.
Okay, I'm sorry, but like, what the fuck are you even talking about? Like, there's obvious fucking differences here between, like, the terms of child groomer and fucking dog groomer. I don't even know what this shitty-ass comparison is actually meant to be. Like, this is just a really dumb fucking comparison. One is an innocent thing that people can have as a fucking job. The other one is literally exploiting a fucking minor. Like, and the thing is that if you even bothered to look at the actual docs, which, funnily enough, when he released his video, and after he had the audacity to try and, make that video and basically claim that he wasn't going to take anybody seriously if they didn't say his secret safe word, and, whatever else happened in that particular video, he later on admitted that he didn't even fucking look at the documents before making the video. He made the video without the full information, which is, again, very similar to Kumo. Basically, both of these individuals didn't bother to look at the fucking documents that contain the most damning information. And the thing is that, like, there's honestly no excuse as to why you couldn't have even looked at the documents. Because, well, I mean, he's going to get into an excuse here later on in, like, the next, call clip. But, like, I feel like no matter what excuse that you decide to pull out, there's really no excuse for not taking a look at the documents. Because, one, they are primarily images, and two, those images contain the most damning information about this entire situation. And that's not even getting into all the other stuff, like the revelation that apparently Diddy Barrow 3 decided to have Enno read out the fucking R-word comic in a call. Like, My God!
Grooming to be watered down because I think it's a very serious thing and a very serious allegation. The problem, though, is what City did is so categorically over the top inappropriate that it's hard to not call it grooming. I can understand why people called it grooming, and I should have been way harsher on Cinny. That's like my biggest issue. It's just...
Oh wow, so your biggest issue is that you weren't harsh enough on Diddy Barrow 3 and not the fact that you decided to make a video without all the information? Wow. Goes to show your fucking priorities, you moron.
With the whole like other calls that y'all had, because like obviously y'all had multiple other calls, were all of those about your video?
I can't recall. Okay. I really, really don't like the commentary community amnesia excuse of, I don't remember, because it's so stupid. It's just dumb. The problem is, I was on sleeping pills, and I remember a lot of them being about the video, but I think a few of them were also just shooting the shit, just chatting about stuff, and it mostly happened because my roommate was on his trip, and I just need someone to talk to for a few minutes so I can pass out, and...
I'm sorry, but like... Why would you specifically try to find comfort and, you know, any of that in somebody who is being accused of being a child groomer and is being accused of committing a federal crime? Like, I'm sorry, but like, I feel like that this admission alone is just weird as fuck. Like, who just says this? Who just says this with full confidence? Oh yeah, I wanted to try and find comfort in a child groomer. Bro, go straight to hell. Like, I'm not even being ironic here. Just go straight to hell. Do not pass go. Do not collect your $200. Just get the fuck out of here, dude. Like, what do I even say?
Yeah, I mean, I almost called someone else as well, but what I did was incredibly unprofessional, incredibly stupid. It's not a romantic thing at all. It's just my nicotine addiction keeping me from falling asleep.
You know, I think Himpleton's fucking reaction right there is a perfect summation of just how I feel at that moment when that just suddenly dropped. Oh yeah, it was just my nicotine addiction just acting up again. I don't think that excuse is gonna work out for you very well. I hate the... I'm sorry, I hate the fact that I'm laughing at this, but like, I can't help it. I can't help but just laugh at just the abject stupidity of these excuses. Like, these are excuses I didn't even think were possible. Like, these are... Ladies and gentlemen, this is what no pussy does to a motherfucker.
And I've heard that I might have said, like, oh, you are my type, and I was like, fuck, did I say that? I'm questioning if I did say that in the last call I had with her or not, but if I did, I definitely, I'm like 90% sure I followed up with, but I have a girlfriend, and she's definitely my type.
Okay, again, Jar, I just simply have to ask you, why the fuck would you even say that? Again... You're trying to mainly get information from somebody who is being accused of being a child groomer and somebody that you're attempting to help get out of those allegations. Why would you say something like that in a call? Like, I don't care if you have a girlfriend. In fact, if you say this kind of stuff about a real person, mind you, if you're saying this kind of stuff about a real person and then in the same breath mention that you're already taken, I feel like you're just unbelievably, unabashedly fucking dumb. Like, I just... Like, not only dumb, but you're also just really scummy as well. Like, this... And, again, what makes it significantly worse is that he was allegedly, by his own words, allegedly stating this. Stating that he said this to somebody like Diddy Barrow 3, who is a fucking child... I just... How deep in the pit do you have to be to have your standards go as low as this?
In particular, what kind of put it over the line with me, and I was actually about to follow up and ask about this because I remember you saying in the chat interview that you didn't end up actually looking at all the logs.
Yes. So.
Well, so I'll get to my take in just a second, but like first I do want to hear what all you did and didn't look at, like in terms of the logs.
Well, I need to admit to something. I'm highly dyslexic. Like, I have one of the worst cases of dyslexia. Enough. And that's why I was waiting for my roommate to come home so he could, like, help me read through the logs. Because
my fucking brother in Christ. Why didn't you just wait for your roommate to come home before uploading your flaccid slop piece? Like, why didn't you just do that? You supposedly wanted to take your time with this one. Literally within the audio log, probably the audio log that I showed off earlier on in this video, you stated that you wanted to try and take your time with this, but apparently you couldn't take enough time to just wait for your fucking roommate to come home to help you out with this flaccid fucking video. No, you just decided to upload it without bothering to read the fucking logs. But on top of that too, I have to mention this because I brought this up earlier. Having dyslexia is not really an excuse to not look at the logs in this case, because at least one of the most damning logs is mostly fucking pictures. Are you trying to tell me that that your dyslexia is apparently so severe that a picture book is too hard for you to read? Like, I'm just... What?
Here, what I'd love to do is just bring up a couple of... So I actually read through, and, like, this isn't a flex or anything, by the way. Like, I just want to make that clear. But, like, I read through all of the DMs, okay? Because Cine released all of them without, like, completely unadulterated with her response. And so I do just want to bring up a couple of pieces of context to see if this not changes your mind to think it's grooming, but changes your mind at all on kind of your opinions of it. So, like, first of all, with the rape comic, in different calls, Cine got, to read that out loud, read some of the panels out loud.
Yeah.
Does that change anything for you?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it depends. Like, I'm assuming that she read it out loud where minors were present.
Well, Eno was the one reading it out loud. Cine got Eno to read it out loud.
Oh.
In call together.
Oh my god. I did not know that.
Yeah. Yep.
That I did. Oh god.
And in total, I mean, they had around 20 hours of phone calls, and almost all of them were dedicated to, like, talking about that sexual material.
Yeah, that completely changes everything. I'm sure you have more, but, like, I think that's enough. Like, case closed. That's... No, yeah. You don't... How much of a coomer do you have to be to, like, risk your reputation over something like this?
Well, that last line right there is bitterly ironic, because, again, how do you think you ended up getting in this situation, Jar? I'm just asking a genuine question right here. How do you think you ended up in this fucking situation? It's because you were so much of a fucking coomer for weird predator pussy that for some reason you just didn't bother to actually pay attention to everybody telling you to fuck off. Like, But hey, at least, he seems to at least now give a shit now that his fucking reputation is basically crumbling. Because apparently, I think, like, within the same exact call, he mentions that he noticed that his fucking subscriber count was dropping, and rightfully so, because, well, I mean... Once again, I feel like I should just mention, my man over here apparently, for whatever fucking reason, just decided to, well, throw away any kind of, like, reputation that he might have already had, just so that way he can make a video effectively just jacking off a child groomer. Like, it is just unbelievably terrible. And I did watch the video for myself. It was really fucking terrible. And while I could talk about, like, all the newer calls that have started to happen, like, for example, the one call that he supposedly had with, like, fucking Lio Convoy of all people for whatever fucking reason, I did watch that one. It's not really something worth really including within this particular video, both because, well, it's just more confirmation of stuff that we already know, and also it's from Lio Convoy, so I don't really give a shit. What have we learned today? Well, we've learned to not be like just a robot, I guess. Don't throw away everything that you currently have just so that we could go after someone who's being accused of being a child groomer. Don't do any of that shit. I know, it's shocking revelations. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed today's video, please consider leaving a like. That's very well appreciated. Leave a comment down below what you thought about the video, what you want me to talk about next, and also subscribe to the channel if you're new and you want to see more content such as this. Also, follow me on Twitter. Go ahead and join the Discord server. I also have a Blue Sky if you want to follow me there. I also have a channel membership, so go ahead and throw me a $5 if you want to be a channel member. Special thanks to my 2 channel members, Gruesome and MadFox94, for of course being fantastic channel members. And I might as well just take a quick note out of Just a Robot's book here. If you made it to this part of the video, comment Viva Las Vegas somewhere in your comment in this video if you made it to this part. It's not like I'm going to take you less seriously if you don't include it or anything along those lines. I just want to see how many people actually watch to this point in the video. It's just a little bit of an experiment. But anyways, guys, this has been Sandy, and have yourselves a nice day.